1st, 2025. It is Saturday night here in Australia. I hope you can hear me. Let's see if my volume is loud enough. I don't know. Okay. Now, my loved ones are going to sleep, so I cannot speak loud. So I'm going to speak into the speaker. You might have to see my face up close. So sorry. There's been one or two issues I've been thinking of. And one of them has been that people are suffering in whatever shape or form. Hello. He's so happy. He's been wanting me to do this for a while. But I waited till they fell asleep. I was going to do it earlier, but I needed to spend time with certain people. Can you hear me? Say. If you can hear me, type in, say you can hear me. Okay, regardless. I titled this, Lessons, Not Suffering. We create for ourselves these events, these emotions, these times, these periods of interest. And every time we do this to ourselves, we say, oh my goodness, this is horrible. Why did this happen? Hello, gorgeous. Sorry, you can all see my nose, but I can't read the writing. Okay, close. I'm kidding. Yeah, so you don't have to. So now I'll be on. There are challenges that people put on this planet for themselves, or to themselves, or however you want to put that. I'm trying to get that as close as possible. So it's kind of funny, but we're gonna work. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. Just put a clip, but I don't have it right now. Oh, I think it's close enough. Now there's an issue when people start getting scared and getting concerned. Hi, beautiful. And there's starting it slow because it's a thoughtful thought. It's not one of those, let's just talk and part. No, this is deep. It's one of the deep ones. This is issues or things that you create for challenges you make for yourself so you can learn something major. And I was thinking, yeah, I don't always think, but I do more feeling than thinking. And I was thinking, actually, some thought came by, I actually grabbed it, and I thought, interesting. Of all the lessons we create for ourselves, what part of it are we just kind of innocent bystanders that get integrated into somebody else's event in life? That's what I'm most curious about. How do we then navigate the lesson if we're not the ones that created the lesson to be made? Like, you create the event so you can have a lesson, so you learn something, you become something, you are a little more enlightened. And then you evolve, and then you expand, and you get closer to what we call source or spirit or universe, however you want to call it, or gosh, yeah? How do we get back to all that? So we can do the expansion, so we can experience, so we can then, right? Experience it. You allow it to be what it is. You accept it for how it is, and then you move on with it. But what does that mean if it's not something you've created as an event? And that event technically doesn't have to be so, what I call squishy and nice. It could be quite frustrating and difficult to meander through. So when you create something yourself, you say, yeah, I made this. This is me. But if you didn't make it yourself, how do you then come to terms with you didn't make it, but you're still part of that energy? And that makes me wonder. And that is kind of my question I've been having for a while. Because certain events have happened that, let's just say, didn't create, but I am quite. Oh, hello. Aussie Jace. Hello. Are you from Australia? We're here now. Sorry for keeping you up at almost 1 in the morning. So, welcome. Thank you for being here. Because Warrior Girl knows me well. So, and the other one's my partner. When this happens, what happens when we look at the situations and we say, we've created this, but this is how we're part of somebody else's creation or event or experience? Not too many details, monkey man. So this is what happens. We then put together what we choose to do in our lives. And when we put that into our lives, we say, interesting. I feel this because of this situation, because I've created it. But now that you're part of somebody else's, event or situation, you can really get swept up in it. For example, not the best example, but it's an example. Somebody does something atrocious, like they blow up a car or something in a movie, and heaven forbid you're just an extra, and by accident you get hit by the car. Have you ever been... I don't know what that means, and if it's dirty, you're going to be removed. Just a warning. Don't try me. Okay. So, when you're just like an extra on a set and by accident you get hurt, yes, you get compensated, but you didn't plan to get hurt on the set, and nor did the person plan to hurt you, but they probably planned to put that, I'm saying it's a movie, not in real life, Like you're acting and suddenly something goes wrong. You meant to act, but you didn't actually put it in there for you to get hurt. So how do you work with that? How do you say, okay, now I have this situation, and you just try to make a sense of the whole concept of why you're in it. And now you have to deal with whatever kind of injuries you have for the rest of your life, because of that one thing that you didn't realize would happen. For example, I was hiking in about like 30 plus degrees Celsius. So it's anywhere between 90 to 100, something like that, Fahrenheit. And it was very hot, very humid. And I decided to go body rafting into a river that was literally, we were hiking, I think, were we going up? No, we were going down. Yeah, we drove up and we were going down. And we slowly went through. Oh, wow. Sangli. Thank you for being here. And we were going that I put myself into the water, and the water was beautifully icy and freezing, and I didn't feel the pain until I left the water, and not till months after. So as I started going down this river, I was literally sitting in the water and then breaking, and I slowly went through the water, And as I was getting to the bottom of this river, and we finally get to the bottom of it, which was quite stunning, it was a beautiful pool of water between the valleys. And then, okay. Thank you for that, Warrior Girl. I might need your services for... I don't even know how to put you on, but I may have to remove some people from this live if this is the conversation. So I broke my tailbone hitting rocks. And now I have a broken tailbone that fused inappropriately, so now I have sciatica since I was quite young. Now, I planned to enjoy the weather and planned to go on the hike. I didn't plan to break my tailbone. Yes? Yes, it happened to me, but I made a flash decision because I just couldn't. I couldn't handle it. And then that's what happened. So that was my own choice, but then again, I didn't choose to break my tailbone. I chose to have the experience of a hike. So now, for example, when things like that happen, how do you then cope with a long-term injury? I think it means something sexually inappropriate, my friend Warrior Girl. That's what I'm assuming. And if that's what they're saying, um, I might have to remove them somehow, but I don't know how to do it on my phone. So if they continue, then we might have to remove them and block them somehow, if they don't stop. Or report them, one way or the other. I will catch you. Cut the crap. So as I broke my tailbone quite young, I had, till this day, even right now, my tailbone is fun and I have sciatica. Now, that's something I chose to hike, but I didn't choose to harm myself, right? So now you have to deal with that consequence. So what do you do then? And it's okay to have the consequence, but sometimes you're part of somebody else's consequence, right? Somebody else does something and then you're just in the periphery of it and then you get affected by it. How do you then work with that? And that makes a difference. And that's what I'm wondering. Because lessons are meant to be learned from all of our experiences, no matter how uncomfortable, like even this one is. Like this is alive, and then two people are talking about a very sexual inappropriate action. And I'm just addressing and saying, cut the crap, or I will report you and I will gladly block you. So that's how that works. See, they're entering to my space. Now, I'm not getting triggered or offended. I'm just going to warn you. And I will take action if I have to. So these are things that you learn and you cope with the situation. You're in a live space, like literally in a live space like I am now. What do you do if you have to deal with yourself in that space? And what if it's a long-term have to deal with that space? How do you deal with that? How do you come to terms with that? What do you do to make sense of all that? Good night, Mommy John. And when you do make peace with things like that, what do you do to allow for the peace to be accepted and understood? So I just came to terms with no matter what we do, no matter, excuse me, that was a burp. No matter what experience you have, we are meant to get closer to who we are as a whole, and what makes us who we are is we are parts of source, of the universe itself. And each little source spark, I call it a source spark, but like a soul spark, but it's a source spark within us, has taken a human form. And we're here to create experiences. So this that we call universe or source or gosh can experience something different than absolute bliss and joy. It's what we do. And it's not fun. You can see my face. But it's true and it's honest. So if you're looking at chaos around you and people that you knew and thought you knew and didn't know how to handle what to do with that, well, guess what? You're not alone. There are many situations we all have to figure out. Okay. Hello. There's more to the situation in what you've created. You create a space that is peaceful, that is calm, and yet something somehow tries to interfere. Kevin, that's one of our commenters on the screen. And it's just unnecessary. There's no judgment. Thank you, darling. Thank you very much. And Mommy, can you report the Aussie Jace person too, please? Before you go? Thanks. Um, what's going on is that you will be bombarded, as you can see, even in the live, if you're not there. There's there's a stream of comments being across my screen that's very inappropriate, and this is not the kind of channel for that. So if you're here for that, go away right now. Because if you think that's funny, my husband knows how to take care of people online, and you don't want that. Just a warning. And this is how it works. You have to face it. So here's an experience, and now we're learning. But you have to be able to experience so the universe can experience, and the universe in turn can grow and expand, which I think is fantastic. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. So if you first is experience, then you expand, then you grow, meaning your awareness grows. And that brings you closer to Source itself, that you are. And when that happens, it makes a wonderful chain reaction, and the ripples begin. So you can start one change despite not starting whatever caused challenge or chaos or trauma in your life, and then you can allow it to help others to make a better life for themselves. Sometimes the situations and the lessons are very difficult, and then you in turn can then share that with others and help others cope with whatever they're trying to cope with. Maybe it's similar to a challenge you've created yourself, or not. You just had to experience that challenge anyway. And then it works. And then it's absolutely beautiful. So if we can find better ways to come to terms with, yes, it's challenging, yes, it's hard. I'm not watching the news, but I have a feeling it's not that pretty. And it makes you kind of scratch your head and say, why in the world would people do something like this, or do anything that's contradictory to being a kind, humble, generous person? Because that's all they want is kindness and love. In the end, it's why the channels of such darkness and chaos? Okay. I don't know how to. You have to do it, Mommy. I don't know how to do that. So, there's a reality that comes. There's a reality that comes with being challenged like I am right now. I'm going to give this Kevin person one more Kelvin. Can't really read it. One more chance. If you are not speaking here on highest terms of kindness and love, compassion and altruism and nothing else, you have to leave. Is that understood? And so this is how I deal with it. I'm in the moment, and I'm dealing with, I think, someone trying to be cheeky, as they'd say, in an English way. Yeah, exactly, Aussie Jace. How to cope with grief is a good point, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you have a situation where you have grief or you have trauma, what do you do to make that easier for yourself? How do you make it easier for yourself? And it's not easy. It's just you have to find what it is that's causing you not so much resistance, but the pain itself. And you have to actually look at it, whether you like it or not. It's not something you say, oh, this is fun. I have to have the nicest of things. No, only happy things. Listen, we all want happy joy, but sometimes that emotion of grief, of sadness, of whatever you put into your life, or trauma, chaos, challenge, like so many pretty words I can give you right now. if you put any of this out into the universe, into the ether, it's for you to be able to change and to grow from it. That's why I'm trying to say you experience, you expand, and then you grow. That allows you to move forward. And once you realize something, it takes time, but once you realize it, it becomes this amazing gift that you cannot just give yourself but to others. And it's not an easy concept, but it is one that I've been wondering. So if you have questions of your own, please do. If you're still wondering how to cope with it, fine, absolutely right. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, but I am here to impart information that might be interesting. It can help. Just not too much, because then you just kind of, you're not too aware of your actions. But yeah, it can help. I'm not into that part, but yeah, listen, whatever makes you happy, as long as you don't hurt anybody else, you don't hurt yourself, that's fine. But you can help. That's funny. There are so many ways that we can make changes that aren't so imposing and so painful. But we just have to face what it is that we're facing and accept it, that this is what it's chosen to create and manifest itself as. And that's it. And it's not, I'm not going to be like flowering any words or giving any sunshine up butts. This is it as it is. I have to deal with what I have to deal with. Everyone has to deal with their own things. And if you're looking at the world as a whole, as a collective, it's kind of chaotic right now. Everything's upside down and inside out, and that's okay. But it needs to erupt with all this first. So whatever it is, we can look at it and say, do we like this? No. Do we like that? No. If you don't like it, move it along. Accept it. Say, I don't like it, but you know what? I'll accept you the way you are, and I'll move you on. And that's fine. But we have to learn that these are lessons. So trauma comes in, challenge comes in. We have to learn a lesson. And what is that lesson? I don't know. But you have to figure it out for yourselves. And if you need help, there are always people there to help. Always. Even a stranger. You know, there are wonderful hotlines that, and call centers that if you need help, they're amazing. They're really amazing. Like, I didn't need to call for like trauma, but I had to call for, if heaven forbid, there needed to be an assistance. So I called in as an inquiry, and I actually got the person calling me back. And I thought, wow. What in the world is going on tonight? Do I not understand the chat? I'm just going to ignore it if that's what's going to go on. Wow. Okay, Mr. Skidmark's comment. If one more comment out of you, like this, and you're going to be blocked. You've already blocked one person tonight. Aussie Jace is playing the rules now. Whoever you are, no more. I think I do need a moderator, honey. This is ridiculous. I don't come on so we have childish behavior. This is not one of those channels. Let me just warn you. Whomever you are, hear me very clearly. This is not one of those channels. Alright, he said tap the name 3 times. Hold on. 1. Haha. Alrighty. How do you do that? How do you remove them? You report them?
No. Click on it 3 times.
You report them?
You block.
I can't. I can't block. It says report.
Okay. Sexual. Second one.
This one. Okay. Is this one sexual? This is just gross. Yeah, we'll do that one as well. Alright. Alright. Okay, we've just reported you, darling. Unless you'd like any more of us to do more, we will. No. Hold on, we're gonna just see if I can. Okay. This is going to be fun tonight. Don't question, nor do I judge, but I will remove you. If I can't block you, I will remove you. Okay. There you go. Interesting. Someone thinks they're funny tonight. When I say I don't put up with your bullshit, I mean I don't put up with your bullshit. What state? We are in Victoria, darling. That's why it's 1:16 in the morning and I really should go to sleep. The whole point of me coming on is to say, and I do appreciate your comment about that. Yeah, the beer is funny. I do. That's cute. Listen, because I'm knitting and that keeps me calm. So, sorry if you keep seeing me do that. It's me just removing. What I'm trying to really get at the heart at is, yeah, I can't see that though. That's the problem because you even came in to check it. You're right. Click on the 3 dots next to comment. What's coming? All right, I'll do it next. If it comes up, I'll do it again. All right. Oh, cool. Just say you look like. Wow. Oh no, that was funny. Oh, now you're just being a dick. All right, this is fun. Okay, let's see how we. Hold on, sorry, darling. I've got an advice. Let's see. How do you? Mommy, I can't get it off.
I can.
Yeah. There's no 3 dots. She's right though. How do you get him off? Just read that comment real fast. That's funny as shit. That's the greatest funny. All right, go ahead. That, by the way, is husband who's going to kick your ass. Go ahead. Go ahead. You can know.
Wait, I don't know. Wait.
Wow.
I hide this channel.
All right. That's good. No, it's there. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, this is fun. All right, everyone. All right. I'll just stop. 1 second. I'll explain that for 1 second. It's funny as shit, man. Wow, that comment made me laugh way too hard. The PE, what you're asking, Aussie Jace, is there's someone on this live thinking that it's funny to say that you use like yes, I will say penis and send it into an orifice of another person, male or female, and use it in a sexual thrusting way. That I can say. And that's disgusting. So that's why I'm taking it off the screen, if you haven't noticed. So, if that helps. And that's why I'm blocking that person. Because it's not appropriate, because I'm not a sexual contact person at all. I am a teacher, and everything I do is clean. Yes, I will use words like fuck from time to time, excuse my language. But, yeah, no, not that. Not in that context. So I hope that helps. So the whole point of this this is, here I'm learning a lesson too, on how to deflect with grace. See, I didn't ask, I came on to be live. I didn't ask for this. I knew I had a message coming. Um, but then again, I didn't say I'm going to come on live so I can be bombarded with the funniest comments I've seen in a long time. The last one was a doozy. I'm not even going to read it. I took it off. It was too much fun to read. Um, that's all I can say. See, I'm laughing because my reaction to it is that. What I'm saying is you can react differently. Have a different reaction to whatever situation does come up. Because, meaning, just like Einstein said once, if you do this, if you do something and you do it again in the same exact way, you are just basically going insane. And that is not cool. So instead of going insane, do something different. It doesn't have to be massive, it could be small. Like, if your reaction to it could be different. I mean, I can sit here and get angry. And I could feed that stupidity that they're pulling, just trying to harass me, trying to do a live. Or I can sit here and say, okay, I'm going to show a different part. Exactly, we don't need trolls. I can show and react in a different way. I can react and say, this is not appropriate. This is not going to happen. And I will take action calmly, quietly, and directly. And I just did. And when I read that last comment that was meant to be offensive, oh my gosh, it was so funny. I'm not repeating it. I just won't, because if I put it through the algorithm, if I just say it out loud, the algorithm picks it up somewhere on YouTube or wherever, just like the internet, and I'll get the most ridiculous videos and comments and ads that I just do not need. That's all I'm going to say. But I swear it was very funny. Very, very, very entertaining. That's what I will say. So at least I find it entertaining. Instead of getting angry and calling and blah, 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 and names and all these horrible things, I'm just going to say what I feel. I've said from the beginning when I started this page, I am not here to put up with anybody's bullshit. And here you see why. So this is what I'm saying. An experience is an experience. Is it all welcoming experiences? No. But can we work with them? Yes. Can you find levity even in the most ridiculous of situations? Yeah, I just kind of proved it, hopefully. Yeah, you can. If it's a painful situation, like was said, grief, yes. Yes, it can. And that's reality. You have to find a way through, and not around it, but through what you're doing. Yeah? Finding peace with what's around you and as it is. Not so much as you can see my forehead. You know? And that's what makes more sense. I'm saying sense because what we try to do is rationalize and make logic, but I want people to remember that there common sense as well, as opposed to just logic and reason. Your common sense is what you feel. It's your intuition. Listen to that first. I mean, I could sit here and get it crabby, mean, but I'm not going to. It's not appropriate. Not for me. Everything happens. Peace of mind. That's right. Everything happens in the way that you need it to. And if it doesn't, you have the ability and the power and the capability to change it, to make so much more important to you. And I mean it the way you said that. Because if it's not important, guess what? It doesn't have to be there. And you can remove it from your sphere of life, influence, environment, however you want to see it. And the more you do that, the more you become whole, but it's step by step, by baby step, and it has to be conscious, not unconscious. I'm fully present, but it has to be conscious, and you have to be aware. And when you are, you can handle anything. And sometimes when you're exhausted, it doesn't mean you're unconscious, it means you're tired, right? Your energy's low. You have to recharge. And you really have to find time for yourself as an individual, as a person. So you can experience again, and it may not be the nicest of experience, but it could be a wonderful experience. Why not? You know? And the more you say that it will be a wonderful experience, no matter how stinky it may be, it may get better. And that's what makes the difference. The intention, the belief that it will, and it already is better than what it seems to be, seems is the catch. Then it gets better. So everything we go through as an experience is a lesson. Especially if it's not wonderful and flowers and joyous and blissful and serene. This was meant to just be hello. And this turned into, wow, that was interesting. So just allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to feel and allow yourself to be. Because not everything's going to work out the way you want it. Even if you plan it, even if you set it in motion, and you say, this is going to be the outcome. The outcome even twists itself and changes itself. Because you've created a creation, and that creation has a life of its own. No matter how much we like to not think of that, we are creators of things that create their own manifestations. Especially concepts. So, thank you, beautiful. I appreciate those hearts. Especially the roses. I love the roses. So if we can create that for ourselves and find a quieter path, a more peaceful path, no matter how sticky and gross and frustrating or wonderful or in between confusing a situation is, or an event, or an experience, or whatever you're going through is, just remember it's a lesson. Whether you put it on impose it upon yourself, or if somebody else kind of by accident touched your space. It is for you to figure it out. You know? I know. Got another great comment. I know. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I get it. See? Now we can laugh about the comment because it's just inappropriate, but exactly. We don't need that here. I'm talking about how to make yourself feel better in situations. And it's not, you know, I'm not trying to sit here and talk about sexual conduct of any kind. And I have no qualms about however you choose to have that conduct. This is not the page for it, though. All right? Cardinal knowledge is not what we're speaking of in this moment. We're speaking on you as an individual, trying to find your way through things. And yeah, it kind of was obsessed. We just had someone obsessed with carnal knowledge activities. And it's not something I talk about here. Listen, you can have any form and multiple partners you like. That is not my problem. It's just this is not the page for it. This is meant for enlightenment. This is not a page for that. Nor am I one of those people who know understand jokes, because I'm not a joker. I'm pretty serious. So that was yeah. Obsessed is exactly what he was. Very well said. And anyway, whoever is here, thank you for being here. It's nice to have people just randomly watch. You didn't have to. You didn't have to be here at all. You didn't have. You chose to give your presence to me at this moment, and thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate you for being here, even Mr. Obsessed over there. So, oh my gosh. That does sound painful. Okay. On that silly note, if you guys have any questions, please do. And it's not about that lovely P word, and it's not what you think it is. Um, it's a different word. But if there's anything else, let me know. And otherwise, I will close it up and actually go to bed because I'm tired. Well, at least my others go to sleep. Yeah, I should go to bed now. Anything anyone has a question about? And I don't do politics, but I do. I can answer questions if you have any, because I do energy, remote energy healing. So that if you have any questions, it's very good to see you too, gorgeous. Thank you for being here, warrior girl. Um, I'm just hearing as a quick message is if you can't find the humor and and all that's around you, maybe the humor is that silver lining, you know? What we call silver lining. And even saying silver lining, I love the idea of that because if you look at a cloud in the sky, right? And it's a certain time of day, whether it's sun, well, kind of like twilight, because then if you could see a silver line of light around a cloud when the sun is beginning, as we assume, to rest, but we're just literally rotating. And it's quite beautiful. Also, you could see that silver lining if you want as an imagery. If you see the Earth as it rotates from, let's say, the space station, International Space Station, and you could see that gorgeous glow. There's this light glow around the edge of the Earth when you're looking at that image, and it always gets me. It's so beautiful, and it's so oddly protective and calming. That everything underneath that glow is somewhat, not everything, but quite a few things are a little in chaos. And yet it's so peaceful just looking at that glow around the Earth before we consider it resting. It's just rotating. And you could see it from space, from the space station. It's something, if you haven't seen it, you can Google it. It's absolutely amazing. So every time I get upset or worried, I kind of go to something like that and just remind myself that no, we're not small and insignificant. We're significant. We're just, we need different perspective on how to appreciate whatever a challenge does give us. And that lesson gives us something to learn, and what we've learned can be implemented in helping others. Okay, this better be clean. This better be clean. Okay, what do you call a person walking around Australia? Go ahead. I bet it's a joke, but go ahead. What is it? What is it? Hello, Sue. I don't know. Human being? I don't know. Told you I'm very serious. I'm one of those. So if you have some cute little zinger, go ahead. If it's anything inappropriate, you know what I'm gonna do. Aside from the Aborigine, yes, you're absolutely right. Aside from the Aboriginal people, absolutely, we are all immigrants. Thank you. That's a really good one. I like that. I like that. That was cool. Good joke. I like that joke. See, I'm a bad joker. I have the worst jokes. See, I have one joke. I'll give you one joke. Ready? All right, I'm gonna put this back here. Well, I'll give you all one silly, ridiculous joke because I'm really bad at joking. What is a ghost's favorite food? Blueberries. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a bad joke. It's a really bad joke, but that's the only joke I have. To tell you how much of a joker I am. My son is a better joker than I am. I am horrible. But that was good. I like that. So if you take that image of at least of trying to find peace and calm in whatever is going on, When you look at the Earth from the outside, because now we can, because there is an app or a channel or something that you can look and see from the International Space Station. You can see like the sunsets, and you could actually see the lights on the planet from the cities. It's amazing. Oh, well, I find it amazing. And then, as you can see, there's a gorgeous crest around the curvature of the Earth as it's rotating. It is stunning. And that gives me hope. That can look so chaotic right here on the ground, but up there it's so peaceful. So what does it stop us from being better people to each other as opposed to just causing harm, you know? Because we can't, or whoever's causing harm can't handle what's going on. Oh no, it's better be clean. I like Aboriginal people. Go ahead. What you call Aboriginal going down a water slide? It's better be nice. Be nice. I like them. I respect them beyond words. But go ahead. So this is what I'm saying. Everything's a lesson. Every experience is a lesson. And every lesson can be interesting. I read that right. I don't know about that one. I like the other one better. That's not the good one. The other joke was better. Find a way with your experiences. Allow the lessons to be lessons. Let them be peaceful. And find a better way to handle them. By a different perspective. You may have to change your beliefs. You may have to let things go. You may have to move things on. Yeah, exactly. I know. It's usually not like this, by the way. Give me a second, dear. I will take that one off because I don't like that one. Because we're all immigrants to everywhere we live, so that's something else. But you're right, Sapori. I agree with you. That was unnecessary. If you'd like, you can check the other ones if you feel like they're not like this. Only tonight, for some reason, is this energy so quizzical. And it's interesting you said that. It's not the channel, it's the energy. Because usually this never happens. No, it's okay, honey. It's fine. This never happens on my page. Ever. And I mean never. And it's not just happening to me, but it's happening to a lot of people. Like even people that have very much super clean, like straight, serious comments, you know? And they always have very enlightening comments and loving comments, and you know, and I am always talking about love and light. So don't get turned off too much by that. I mean, you don't have to continue watching if you don't want to, but I'm just saying this never happened before. And I think it's just the energy that's going on. This is why I came on. There's something in the air and the energy that's not, how do I say this? Not quite grounding itself in a very positive, gentle way. It's just kind of causing uproar. So Aussie Jace is not horrible. It's just making silly jokes. So I'll let some pass. But the other one was just inappropriate, beyond words. And I don't tolerate that. And there's energy going on that's not quite peaceful right now. I think that's why I came on. I usually wouldn't have come on right now because I actually have quite a bit to do and a lot on my mind. And usually I don't come on because I don't, unless I'm quite clear, very, very clear, I'll come on. But that's why it's amazing I'm here right now. But aside from that, this is not the most, let's just say, serene energy in the world right now. And that's what I think is coming up in this specific video. So, yeah, you're right. It's hectic, this video. Not so much general channel, because my channel never has this, but just this video. So I hope it doesn't happen again. And I honestly, I don't want it to happen again. Like, jokes are good, but, appropriate and kind, but not otherwise. Because I don't believe in making fun of others in any way at the expense of themselves. That's just not how I do things. So I'm glad I got that out too. Nice. So just putting that out there. Find your way through this. See, I'm in like a half confused state, and that's great. But I'm showing that I'm there too. So look at the events around you, in your life and around you, and see how you can change your perspective, make it easier, make it better. And don't become reactive, but react quietly and more peacefully to it as opposed to more chaotically to it. Yeah? Like this person saying beautifully. Hectic, yeah. Don't allow the hectic of the nature, allow it to stop you from being in some form of a peace of mind. A little bit of peace of mind would be great, and that makes the world of a difference. And then things get better, and things cool off, and they become more balanced, more peaceful, more calm. Yeah, I think that's the message. But we have to allow for that peace of mind. We have to allow for the quiet. We have to allow for, a moment of cut the crap. Like this happened here, and it never happened before. So, yeah, it happens, but you can choose to react differently. You can be reactive is when it becomes, not the greatest, because you're not thinking, you're just acting. But when you're thoughtful in your actions, that makes a huge difference in the world. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sue. That is beautiful. She said the channel is about inclusion, peace, love, as us who support each other. And you know what? You're going to make me cry. That's beautiful. I'm glad you got the message. Thank you. Honestly, thank you, Sue. That's beautiful. I don't think the Sapori's, yeah, it's just basically probably newer, or I don't know, but it's, yeah, it's just probably more of an observation, but thank you so much for that. That was beautiful. Both you guys. That was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. For me, thank you. All right, so I can do kind of readings, but not a lot, and plus the child just went to sleep, so this is going to be right here so you can hear me better. Does anyone have any questions? Because if you have a question, I could answer it, but it has to be a real question, not the ones I've been getting before this. They're inappropriate, okay? So anybody have any questions? Like you get a reading of some kind, for example, right? Or an energy reading or something. Yes, Warrior Girl got it. Because if not, it is getting late. Okay, cool. I'll give it another second, because if you are typing, it takes a second. Okay, this collective message sounds good. Do you think maybe I could channel it? I could channel it, maybe. What if my hand will hold up for the week? Okay. Yep, okay. It's that close to magic time, so it's like 1:40 in the morning. We are the Andromedans as a collective. We understand the interference into this message tonight. It is a question of how do you react to something? To be reactive, yes, is something that can be helpful, but conscious awareness, collective with unity consciousness, intention, that begins with love and ends with love. That doesn't mean in between love is always there. It just means it begins with love. May turn into disgust, even hate, even frustration. But it ends with love because each one of you need to find a peaceful path. And it is a process, and it is a path, and it is a step-by-step process, as you call it. As an entity, you need to find the balance and the harmony with whatever is presented from what you have created into your realities, into your interdimensional realities, into your physical realities. Physical reality is just a manifestation of form and density. Density with mass, more density. More of an actual form that you can touch. That is your body, that is a form. When we speak ethereally, that is your energy, that is your ethereal, energetic form, auric, electromagnetic, and so on. There are so many forms of energy that are around you that you cannot see tangibly with your eyes, nor touch with your hands. And that is the energy in which this vessel is speaking of, trying to impart that the energy around you is always love. And when you bring that love inward, love becomes more peaceful and embedded into spaces that don't seem to have in your logical mind a place for light. No matter how dark it is, light is always there. And when the light does come in, even as a dim shadow, it is still a light. It is still a sign of hope. And it is still a starting point for all that is to be created in what you call your reality as a human on earth. Find the peace in your own way, in your own light, in your own forms, your own creation, your own creativity. Do not take for granted that you are the ones creating this. And yes, you can be enmeshed into others' energy and their creations of that energy. And that is a thought form, that is an event, that is anything and everything. You walk through a room that someone's arguing, you will feel their energy. If you walk too close to them arguing, you will enmesh your energy with theirs and you will be affected without realizing it. And that is what is real. You may not see it, but it is happening. So try not to carry that energy from that argument. If you walk through it, allow it to move off of you and pass it through with love and say, thank you, I appreciate it. It was attention for a moment of my focus and now it is gone. And you do that even with such situations and events that are darker, not so kind, confusing, and shall we say, unnerving. Tonight, the vessel has handled the situation with grace. And we commend her. We ask you to do the same in moments that are not exactly peaceful and calming and serene, which is where we are. We're always in serene energy. And some of us will have harder week ahead and some will have an easier week. But have some patience and kind and temperance for yourself and give yourself some credit for how far you've come. It is a time to be proud of yourselves, not time to judge, not yourself and nor others. We know you do not, whoever is listening. We're just saying thank you for that, for not judging and being patient and kind and understanding and compassionate. We send love, light, abundance, peace, serenity, bliss, wonder, awe, joy, and comfort. If you need us, just call upon us and we will be there to help you. Our assistance is always, always there. If you ever need, just say help, and we are there. Thank you for listening, and we wish you all, and whomever will be listening to this, yes, there will be more, a week, a year, a month, and moments as you call them, to come, of more bliss and joy and calm, 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 in the storm. Even if you haven't created it from your own manifestations, you at least have a choice in how you react to it. With grace or suffering, that is up to you. We leave the choice to you. You are sovereign upon yourselves. We love you. We honor you. We admire you. Thank you. Whew. Now that was trippy. Whew, that was fun. Yeah, that was good, right? Okay, thanks for asking for that. That was wonderful, Warrior Girl. Appreciate it. That was a beautiful message. I felt myself like this, can you imagine like cotton candy in the sky? Like a squishy, like squishy, wonderful cotton candy just like floating. Oh, that was so good. I'm still there. Suddenly my back doesn't hurt. Look at that. Ooh, lucky me. Okay, I can end it there. I'm going to say thanks to everyone. And yeah, this was an event. And whoever's going to watch, thank you. You don't have to, but thank you. And I do appreciate everyone that does watch. And you could hear my voice. They just did something really nice to me. What a loss of words. Honestly, thank you. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. Be the change. Be positive, and do something kind for someone as best you can, and yourself. And from me, and from all, namaste. I only have one hand, so namaste. Third eye to the heart. Thanks, guys. You too, honey.